my name. I will obviously be your auctioneer here this morning. I'm assisted by Jeff and Kyle, who's been managing the property for the last few weeks, and together we proudly represent Biggin and Scott. Now, today's auction will have three parts. Firstly, I'll go through the particulars of sale. Secondly, a brief description of this lovely property that's been on display here this morning, and it's an absolute credit to our vendors Connie and Sam as to how the property is presented to you today, but a bit more about that shortly. And third and finally, the exciting part, we get to find out which one of you lucky people get to call 182 Browning Road, Boronia, yours. And it's always a very exciting day for any young person, young couple, or in fact downsizer, given the fact that we've got plenty of room here today and no second story to be entering a new chapter in their life. But a bit of housekeeping first. The particulars of sale are as follows. The vendor's agent is Biggin and Scott. We are selling for, and on behalf of our vendor, the property described as 182 Browning Road here in Boronia. All fixtures and fittings included in the sale. We are selling by public auction, whereby, unless you have a previously arranged agreement with Kyle, a 10% deposit is required at the fall of the hammer. Now, in modern times, the old checkbooks are a thing of the past, so we can do it in a few ways. We can do a net bank transfer straight into the trust account. If you've got a limit of, say, $20,000 in your trust in your bank account, we can do a $20,000 transfer today and look forward to receiving the balance of the 10% on Monday when you get a chance to go to the bank. That's not a problem. Now, our vendors are offering a very flexible 90 to 120 days at the choice of the highest accepted bidder here today. So you bid to buy the property today, you come inside, sign a contract, it's your choice. 90, 95, 102, 115, right up to 120 days, whichever suits you best to move into this wonderful home. Now, the rules of this morning's auction are in accordance with the REIV, of which Biggin and Scott are members, and they are as follows. Subject to the vendor's reserve price, the highest bidder who is accepted by the vendor shall be the purchaser. I, as the auctioneer, will determine the minimum in which the bidding shall be advanced, and no bid once made shall be retracted. If any dispute arises during the bidding, I, as the auctioneer, will determine the dispute or resubmit the property back to you all at its last undisputed bid and ask for your continued bidding from that moment in time. The vendor always reserves the right to bid once or more by their auctioneer, to refuse any bid, or to withdraw the property at any time without necessarily declaring the reserve price. I will indicate bids on request. We do have 6 registered bidders here today, so if I'm asking for a figure and you just want to raise your paddle in the air, I'll consider that as a bid. If you want to yell it out and intimidate your opposition, I'm also very okay with that strategy as well. So either way, obviously you have to bid to buy, so just raise your paddle or yell it out. One of the two is fine. The law prohibits the making of false bids, and it does provide major fines for anyone attempting to prevent others from bidding. In well over 200 auctions in the last few years in Knox that I've called, I've never had any problems, and I certainly don't expect that we'll start having problems here today. The law prohibits the making of vendor bids other than by myself as the auctioneer. And ladies and gentlemen, for anyone who's not exactly sure what a vendor bid is, think of it as nothing more, nothing less than a counter offer made by myself on behalf of the vendor to simply suggest that the property will not be sold at a lower level than the nominated figure. And I'll say vendor bid, nominated figure, and we will ask for continued bidding from that moment in time. And as I've just said, only I, as the auctioneer, can legally make a vendor bid on behalf of the vendors. And the final rule in the state of Victoria, ladies and gentlemen, is that there is no late bids allowed in any Victorian auction. And the way in which we'll be selling the property today is on a first, second, and third call. And I'm a pretty fast-moving auctioneer. I like to keep things moving. And if I've got to the second call and your paddle is down by your hands like this, or you're not calling a bid out, I'll be assuming that you're happy to let someone else buy the property. Or at the very least, happy to let someone else negotiate with our vendor. So as I've said, we're selling the property on a first, second and third call, and if the contract hits my hand, it is illegal for me to entertain anyone else's interest beyond that point. So I encourage each and every one of you to don't be the person walking away, don't be the person that's disappointed in what you could have done or what you should have done. Put your future in your best possible chances today. Give your future the best possible chance in this wonderful home, and declare your interest very early. So that concludes the rules, ladies and gentlemen. So what do we have on offer? Well, when we were chatting with the vendors last night, we had, I think, 5 umbrellas on planned to be here, Kyle. We had rain jackets. We were talking about having the auction in the beautiful double lock-up garage out the back. Boronia weather's turned it on for us today, and the house looks absolutely immaculate. When you're bidding today, I want you to ask yourself, where can you get a beautifully presented house with 2 living areas and an ensuite and a double lock-up garage in a brilliant location for the price you're paying today? And you will always look back once you pay the price today and say, what a fantastic decision we made on April 30, 2022. Yes, we paid a little bit more than we planned to pay. Yes, we pushed a bit harder than we wanted to go. But what a great decision we made, because look at the value now. So ladies and gentlemen, the lucky buyer will walk into this wonderful home, the beautiful front living area, the spacious open kitchen meals, the even bigger back living area, the huge master bedroom, the lovely balcony out the back, and they'll be able to spend the next X amount of years of their life knowing that wherever they need to go, it's a back street drive to the Boronia railway station from here, just up Browning Road, left into Duncan, and down into Boronia railway station from there. You've got the Eastern Hospital just round the corner. You've got Knox City Shopping, left-hand turn right into Boronia Road, easy access to Knox City. You've got some wonderful schools in the area, some wonderful sporting facilities. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no surprise to me why we have 6 registered bidders here today, with people looking to make their future here at 102 Browning Road, Boronia. So I'm not going to hold you all day, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably enough for me. Just one little other factor is, if you wanted to create a yard for yourself, yes, we do have a shared driveway, but there is all the possibilities in the world, if you've got young kids, to do a little fence here, create a little playground here in the front yard, if that's what you want to do. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get things moving. I wish all our registered bidders all the very best here today. I feel absolutely certain that the person who does buy the home will be ringing us or telling us every time we ring them over the next few years, no David, we don't want to sell, we're very happy here. So ladies and gentlemen, all the very best. Start me wherever you want. An opening bid here at 102 Browning Road, here in Boronia. In your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Start me wherever you like. This is the beautiful part of an auction where everyone else is getting more hope because no one's bidding. But everyone knows there's interest. I love it. $700,000 on the money. $700,000, clearly big we've got. Welcome to the bidding, sir, and all the very best to you today. That's $700,000. Where do we go from here? That's $700,000. I'd like, shall I say 720, sir? That's 700 now. Shall I say 720? Thank you very much. 720 I've got now. That's 720. It's against you, sir. 740. Thank you very much. 740. 740. Thank you very much. Can we stay in 20, sir? That's 740. Clearly bid. That's 740. First call at 740. Second call. What was it? 760? 750. I'll take your 10. I'll take your 10. I'll offer the same courtesy to everyone else. That's 750, 760 now, shall I say? 760. 760 now, thank you, and welcome back to you, sir. That's 760, clearly bid we've got. That's 760 now. That's 760 once.
770.
770 now, thank you very much. It's 770, where do we go now? 780 now. 780. 780 now, clearly bid. That's $780,000, and why not? This is great value here in Boronia. That's $780,000 now. Once at 780.
790.
790, new bidder. Welcome back. Welcome to you too, sir, and all the best to your family. That's 790, clearly bid. That's 790 now. That's 790, where do we go? Once at 790. 800. 800 now, thank you very much, Jeff, at 800. 800, clearly bid we've got. At 800 now, where do we go? We're still being intense. At $800,000, can I see anyone in at 810? At 800,000 now. Once at 800,000. Twice at 800,000. Third and final call. Are we all done? Finished and silent at $800,000. You in for another 5, sir. At 500, 500 now, at 500 now. Offer the same courtesy at 801 now. At 801, clearly bid. At 801 now. At 801 now. At 801 now. Now's the time you need to push a little bit harder, ladies and gentlemen. Secure yourself a property, you'll never look back. At $801,000. At 801.
802, David.
802 now. 802. 805 now. 805. $805,000. 805. How you going, Kyle? At 805,000. At 805,000. Once at 805, are we all done, finished and silent? Twice at $805,000. Third and final call, $805,000. I need an answer.
Another 500.
Another 500 now. Another 500 we've got. Another 500. 806 now. 806. 806 clearly bid. $806,000. 806. It's only money. Banks have got plenty of it, guys. They're happy to share it round. At $806,000. It is hard. I really appreciate it's hard. But
What, number 500, David?
806 and a half. 86 and a half. No, we've got 86 and a half there. 87 now.
Yeah.
807,000. Ladies and gentlemen, if you bear with me for 2 seconds, I will seek some final instructions and I'll be right back.
Oh, he's going. Look, he's going. He's taking. Just one thing. We always do that towards the end.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience. As a courtesy, I pretty well knew what the answer was, but as a courtesy, I always go in and check just to make sure my vendors are happy. We're good to go, guys. There's a sold sign going on the board today, right? There is an absolute sold sign going on the board in the next 15 minutes' time. The only thing we've got to decide is which lucky person that is. So at $807,000, sir, at this stage you've got the keys. I'll take $500 from anywhere else if it helps. I'll take a knockout bid of 5 or 10 grand if you want to give it to me. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment of truth. We are selling the property if we don't get a higher bidder. At $807,000, are we definitely out, sir? No late bids. Thank you very much for your bidding.
It's all right. You sure?
Bidder number 4, you're definitely out. Thank you very much for your bidding. You wouldn't even give me $500. No, I would not. Definitely not? Definitely. Bidder number 5, would you give me $500? Another $500? You deserve a moment to think, but I do need an answer. $500 I've got, 807.5 now. 807.5, you put yourself in front. At $807,500, you got your nose in front, and sir, you've been with me all the way. 808 now, and you deserve all the patience in the world as well. At $808,000. At 808, do I see another 500 there? Absolutely out. Thank you very much for your bidding, and we'd love to help you buy a home in the future, okay? Thank you. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I will call it 3 times at $808,000. On the third call, let's give them a round of applause. First call at 808. Second call at 808. Third and final call, we are selling. Welcome to the neighbourhood. We're sold. Congratulations. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for attending another successful Biggin and Scott auction. Have a great weekend, and I promised the vendor that I'd drag for Hawthorn this weekend if he sold today. So.